red-tailed hawk, and it was brought to us on the 15th of October. Animal Control, actually, Nelson County brought it into us, or brought it into our transporters right over here. And then it came over to the Wildlife Center. It was sitting on the side of the road, likely hit by a car. We can't confirm that, but it was sort of sitting off to the side of the road. What we ended up doing with this guy, we did a physical exam, we did x-rays, we did blood work to make sure that we were covering all of our bases. And luckily enough, there wasn't a lot wrong with this guy. There was he had some kind of puncture wound on some of the breast muscles, sort of near the keel in the front of the bird. And other than that, he just seemed a little bit slow. So we suspect he probably had some cobwebs from probably being hit by a car, and he was just a little bit
He was actually off balance too. Right?
Yep.
When he picked up, you kind of go backwards and look at you like.
Yeah, and if it was a normal hawk, it should be able to fly away, no problem. But he probably had a bit of a concussion. So we checked everything out. He did have an increased white blood cell count, which means that he had an infection, likely from that puncture wound that he had on the front. So we treated him with antibiotics, and then it was a little bit of a process actually getting this guy to eat, because he was pretty stubborn, and red-tailed hawks can certainly be that way. But our rehab team did a great job, and we eventually was able to get the bird to eat. It went and spent some time in one of our flight pens to regain all of its muscle condition that it sort of lost while in captivity. And the last blood test that we did showed there was no more signs of infection, and it was ready to go. So that's what we're here for today. Red-tailed hawks, they actually, a lot of them winter here in Virginia. What we're getting right now is the peak time for red-tails. They're coming down from New England and from the Midwest, and they are setting up winter territories here in Virginia. And so if you happen to see, he's a little bit frustrated. If you happen to see a red-tail, oftentimes this time of year with all the leaves off the trees, you can really spot them up in the trees. If you see them with really, really white chests on them, which is the case with this guy, that's a juvenile bird. That's a hatchier bird. It was probably born May, April sometime this year. And they're down here now, and if you see it once, chances are you're going to see it there over and over again in that same area. I live east of Charlottesville, and I'm sure what you probably know is you're driving by Charlottesville, you get that smell where the sewage plant is. There's a red-tail I've spotted there for the last week, pretty much in the same 2 or 3 trees right there. So he's set up his winter shop. And he knows that he's going to get food there, he can survive there for the winter, and then when spring comes around, he'll turn around and head probably further back north to go and actually set up a breeding territory. Some of them will actually stay here. I mean, we certainly have red-tails throughout here, but often the ones that are born here will migrate a little bit further south. So they may be in Georgia or somewhere at the moment.
Cats are bad at that. Hi, baby. You look so much better. Oh, wow. Look at you.
There you go. So this is our juvenile red-tailed hawk. They don't get their red tails. You'll notice that he has a brown tail on him. They don't get their red tails until they're 2 years of age. And at that point, their eyes will also turn color. So right now, they're really, really light, sort of almost a pale yellow color. And when he gets to be of age, another 2 years, they'll turn dark brown. The other thing is you'll notice that his breast is really quite light, really quite white. And that's going to sort of turn into a faded brownish tan coloration when he gets older as well.
Do you guys have him tagged?
We do, actually.
I was just going to ask that.
On his right leg, there's a silver band. Move to that side so I can get a picture.
So, but not like you can't track, not microchip.
No, it's not microchipped. This is part of the federal banding program. I'm a permitted bander with the game department. And so that allows me to put these silver federal bands on the birds, on the raptors, in order to, so if this bird ever comes into contact with anybody ever again and they get the band number on, they can report it. There's a federal banding site. You can report the band number, and they'll write you right back and say this is where the bird was found or where he last was. And that just gives us information on the life history on these birds. Are we all set? toss.
Stay away from
Ready?
guns.
1. Oh. That was only 1. That was only 1. I'm not letting go until 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Up he goes.
Peace out. Yep.
He may do a shake of his feathers here in a sec. Let's see.
Soar.
Good flight.
It's like kind of
Right into the tree.
Lexi, that's exactly what we want.